Today's Bible story is titled God Sends Help. It is the story of the first time Jesus sent the helper to believers in Jesus. And this is not a one-time thing. This is something Jesus has been doing ever since he was here on the earth for people who believe in him, and he will continue to do it all across this world until the day he comes back. It is something that I've experienced in my life. It is something that every pastor at our church has experienced in their life, and even some of your parents or even some of you kids have already experienced this. So pay attention to the details of the story. I hope you learn something. Jesus' friends and helpers huddled together in a stuffy room upstairs, in the upper room. Even though it was sunny outside, the shutters were closed. The door was locked. "Wait in Jerusalem," Jesus had told them. "I am going to send you a special present. God's power is going to come into you. God's Holy Spirit, the living God, is coming." So here they were, waiting. Actually, mostly what they were doing was just being scared and hiding. You can't blame them. Their best friend had left, and those scary, important people were after them. And Jesus had given them a job. He said, "Go into the whole world and tell people that I died for them and that I love them." But they didn't really know how to do that. As they waited, they were praying and remembering how from the beginning God had been working out his secret rescue plan. And now that rescue plan had happened. Suddenly, a strong wind filled the little room, rushing through the walls, rustling the straw on the floor, and there, on everyone's heads, shining in the gloom, were flickering flames. Fire that didn't burn or hurt. And something more, inside their hearts, they felt a strange heat, almost as if all the coldness and the hardness was melting away. As if their broken hearts were mending, and God was giving them brand new hearts, hearts that could work properly, free from sin. How it happened, they did not know, but they knew God's power had struck their hearts ablaze, and Jesus himself was coming to live inside of them. They had seen Jesus go away, but now he was closer than he had ever been, inside their hearts. And this time, nothing could ever separate them. Jesus would always be there, with them, loving them, whispering the promise that would get rid of the poison and terrible lie and the sickness that had been in their hearts. God's wonderful promise to them: "You are my child, and I love you. Make your home in me as I make my home in you," Jesus had said. Could it be heaven was coming into their hearts? They threw open the shutters. Sunlight flooded their room as love had flooded their hearts. And the little room was filled with happy noises, dancing feet, singing and laughing. They unlocked the door and surged out into the streets as if they had never been afraid. Peter spoke in a loud voice so everyone could hear. "Jesus died for you," he said, "because he loves you. But God made him alive again, and he has rescued you." People stopped and listened. The words sank deep into their hearts and worked like a medicine that makes you well, like the antidote to a deadly poison, like a kiss that wakes you up from a deep sleep. "Stop running away from God," Peter said. "Run to him instead, so he can love you and make you free." And Peter told them the wonderful story of God's love. His never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love. How Jesus had come and all that had happened. There were lots of people from faraway countries in Jerusalem on that day.
They couldn't speak the same language, but as they listened to Peter, everyone could understand in their own language what he was saying. Many people believed and became Jesus' new friends and helpers, and the wonderful news of Jesus spread. Like sparks from a fire, to villages, to towns, to cities. Every day, more and more people believed. And so it was that the family of God's children, his special people, grew. One man was watching. "I'll stop this," Saul said. But this was God's plan, and nothing in all the world would ever be able to stop it.
So that's what it looked like the first time when God sent his power, when Jesus sent the helper. That is something that is available to every person who believes in Jesus Christ. If you believe in Jesus, no matter how young or old you are, God can send his power. Jesus can send the helper, the Holy Spirit, the living God, to live inside of you. Let me tell you about my experience. When I was a child, I was very afraid all the time. I was super shy. I never talked to people. I was just always weak and afraid. And then June 28th, 2009, I was in the student center as a 15-year-old kid, and I came to the front and people were praying over each other, and it happened. Jesus came down, the Holy Spirit was inside of me, and I began to move and shake, and the power of God began to unlock who I was. And ever since that day, I have become more bold and more passionate because of Jesus Christ. The things I'm able to do are because of God and the Holy Spirit and what I experienced, which was the same thing these guys experienced all those years ago. So I encourage you guys, pray for that yourself, that you can experience the power of God inside of you. See you guys tomorrow.